Hello there, it's William here from Wusik, and I want to show the Wusik Station Z1 interface, which is almost completely done. I would say 99% done. I still have to handle the samples area here, the wave sequencer, and then everything else is done. So I want to show you the new preset library option. So if I click here on Synth Base, it's going to load the presets library window. And I can use the library, or I can go to drives and search for any file on my computer. I have my drives list here on the left, the folders with previous option, and all the file lists for the selected folder. And also have the search option. Let me see if there's any synth file in here, or any base file. Oh, okay, so there are two base files here. So this is showing the sounds, although it's not going to be showing in here. This is the preset browser, but I left like this just for testing, because this is my live drive. But if I go here on the library, I can see some test sound sets that I created. So you're going to have the list of sound sets here on the left, then the categories, and also the tags, and then the list of presets, up to 500 presets for each time you select something different. So if I select just synth, it's going to show the synths for all the sets here on the left. It's not on alphabetical order yet, but that's what I'm going to do last. And I can select multiple categories if I want, with the right click or shift and click. So I can select 2, 3, 4 categories, or all the categories. Otherwise, when you click it, it's going to select just one category. And if you double click, it's selecting all the categories. So if I go here on the tags, let's say I want all my analog recorded sounds. I just have one that I created for testing, or select the digital or distorted. And this is a very large library already, has 2,000 presets, fake presets just for testing. And it's very fast on my computer to browse stuff out. And if I select just one set and one category, it's going to show everything for that setting category. And this one doesn't have any tags. So the file system that I'm using for this is very simple, actually. I'm not using any database, because that would complicate stuff. I just use a file system, so each set of presets goes into its own folder, divided by the categories, and then divided by the tags. But you can have like multiple tags for the same file. And this is going to be set when you save the preset or edit the preset. And of course, I can also double click here to show everything else again, and click on the search, and search for that set. Or if I select a set, it's going to search for that set in particular, or I can close the search. So this is working very well already. It's very fast. I have my options here, but there's nothing in there yet. If I close now the browser, I can go back to the layer selection, and everything is working in here. Let's just move some knobs here to test everything out. Everything's pretty much working. So if I select different settings for filter 1 and select filter 2, it's going to show that I already added an about page showing that this is beta, but it's actually alpha. It's not even beta yet. We have the panic button here, the massive volume. You can select up to 4 layers, and then the global layer. You have the envelopes here, the modulation envelopes. You also have 2 of those. Then the filter envelope, and you can select which filter is going to be. Then we have the wave sequencer. You can select the speed and type. And right now there is no editor for the wave sequencer yet. But the idea is that it shows the waveform of each steps here on the sequence instead. So it's easier to see how the sound is going to look like when it's playing back. On the key zone, I added this keyboard so you can select a key zone for the layer. The velocity zone is just go up and down and select the velocity zone. Then you can go to the global layer where you have the source destination amount for each of the MIDI modulations and MIDI LFOs. And everything is already working, and all the knobs have option to MIDI learn with the option of aftertouch, MIDI controller, pitch bend, and note, and also to use the note velocity or the note number for the MIDI learn. The effects is also everything is working, and including the convolution reverb library, which is also working too. So if I open up and I can select just one library and one category, or I can do a search and it's going to search for everything. And you can also use the drive option to search for any file in your computer. So you can use your own convolution files and stuff like that. Let me close the browser. So okay, that's everything working in this area. Just have to refine a few things, but the MIDI learn is already working. Let me see if my MIDI controller, yeah, my MIDI controller is working already. Let's assign pitch bend to the resonance. So center, down, up. But since it's a pitch bend, you can right click and select if you want positive or negative only. So this is very handy. So the center now is full value, and as I go down on the pitch note, is pitch bend, sorry, is going to go down, and up is not going to do anything. But I can assign up, let's say, for something else, volume of the layer, let's say. Positive, so positive goes to the layer volume, and negative goes to the resonance. And I can also invert a MIDI learn. In this case, the MIDI learn is going to the frequency, and I'm going to invert. So now it's up and down instead of, is actually down and up instead of up and down. And I can also use velocity. So the MIDI velocity is going to change it instead, and stuff like that. Those things are already working because the MIDI engine is already running with the blank audio, because there's nothing in the audio yet. But most of the stuff is working already. So you can see that it's searching pretty fast, considering that it's 2,000 presets. And I tested with 50,000 presets, and it took around just a bit over 1 second to search. And for selecting tags, it took about 3 seconds, because the tags is a bit different to search. But it's pretty working pretty well. So okay, now the next step is to make sure that the browser is working correctly by doing more tests. So I'm going to release this as an alpha version, so we can check it out if the interface is behaving correctly, if there is no problems in interface, before I start working on the audio area. Then I can start loading files to the sample player and steps to the wave sequencer. And also import the convolution reverb files, which is not very hard to do. Then I have to create the preset structure, which is also not hard to do. It's just a binary file. And yeah, that's it. So as you resize the interface, it's going to take a bit of time to recompute the files for the interface. So if I make a very small interface here, it's going to create the new files. It's not so bad. It's okay. And why I'm doing like this? Because this way I'm using a very high quality code for the interpolation of the image. You can see that all the text, everything is still readable. I tested with a fast interpolation that the firmware has. Even at high quality, it looked very bad. The text was very corrupted during the resizing, and but was much faster, of course. But now this way, you don't have to keep resizing for every time you refresh the interface. Otherwise, it's going to look slow for the interface. And when you load the plugin, it's also going to slow down the loading because it's loading a very small file. And at 4K, of course, it's going to be slower to draw and load the plugin. But thanks to hardware acceleration, it's not going to be that bad. So I can resize this again. And now it's going to take a bit longer because now the files are larger. But still nothing that bad because you're not going to be resizing all the time for a plugin like this, since the synthesizers and not the mix or mastering plugin. And okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to pre-order to help me out so I can keep on working this full speed.